Welcome back to all of the second grade math planners. We are going to be discussing Unit 5 today. I am Tiana Fields, your second grade math CTO for the 2017-2018 school year. And we are rounding out this year, going into Unit 5. The quote we're going to start with is, "Go down, dig deep enough into anything and you will find math." So when I used that quote, it really brought back that transdisciplinary IB protocol that we talked about at Collab Day, because we are all IB teachers. So I wanted to make sure to find that, to ground us in that today. We are going to do our this is the virtual unit preview for Unit 5, Math. So if you don't want to know about Math, second grade, Unit 5, you're in the wrong place. Close the link now. All right. So as it pertains to this unit, it is going to be over, here we go. It is going to be over time, measurement, and graphs. As far as the specifics, it's going to run from February the 26th through April the 13th. It is going to be 6 weeks long. There's going to be 23 instructional days, 5 flex days. As far as the instructional material, there will be 11 TEKS, 3 readiness, and 8 are supporting. So we have a little bit more content in this unit to cover, but it does all build out well. So we're going to make sure that our scholars in this unit, they're going to read and write time to the nearest 1 minute increments. And on an analog clock and on digital clocks, they're going to be able to distinguish between AM and PM. They're going to determine the length and estimate lengths. They're going to write and solve one-step word problems involving addition or subtraction. And that's going to be a spiral from, I believe, Unit 2 and Unit 3. There are going to be pictographs and bar graphs with increments of 1. They're going to use concrete objects to measure. They're going to find differences on the number line. And so that is also a spiral from Unit 2 or 3. And then they're going to find lengths with rulers, yardsticks, meter sticks, or measuring tapes. They're going to be computing the area using square tiles, creating pictographs and bar graphs, and drawing conclusions and making predictions. So possible manipulatives that you might need for this unit are pattern blocks, colored tiles, counters, Unifix cubes, number lines, rulers, actual clocks. There's Judy clocks that you can get, or that are like hard manipulatives, or you can check out the math resources for Unit 5, and I have some blank clock faces that you can just print, and the students can create their own anchor chart that way. You also need, of course, you need the measuring tape, the ruler, and the yardsticks. So as far as my thought process for this unit, it would go from measurement to time to number lines, and then finally on graphs to round that out. Make sure you check out the unit at a glance to see how I bundled and unpacked some of those TEKS. I thought it was really important to mention that in this unit, we are going to do a lot of predicting and making conclusions. And so that is definitely going to be a second grade transdisciplinary skill, because in Unit 4, reading, there was a lot of cause and effect, and then there was a lot of predictions made and inferences made. So it's good that we can now bring that into the math unit. And so hopefully that will solidify that for a lot of our scholars as well, and give them a deeper understanding of that concept. So when I'm thinking about how this unit ties together, this graphic over here in this section with the spirals, as it pertains to the alignment, when we think about it vertically. So when we talk about 2.9G time, in first grade, they will tell time only to the top of the hour and the half hour using analog and digital clocks. In this grade, they're going to actually read and write time to the nearest 1 minute, distinguishing during AM and PM. So then you have to go down and you have to break the clock all the way down for them, because they don't know that skill. In third grade, they're going to be adding and subtracting different intervals of time. So that's how that works. In 2.9E, when we're doing measurement, in first grade, they were able to describe the length to the nearest whole number using a number in a unit, like 1 centimeter or 2 centimeters or 3 cubes long. And then in second grade is where the problem solving comes in, involving length and estimation. And in third grade, that's when they will find perimeters of polygons and missing lengths. And then the final readiness tip that I wanted to make sure to analyze for you was 2.9C. And that's where they will be using graphs and data. And so in first grade, they were able to draw conclusions and generate answers and questions using pictures and bar graphs and T-charts. In this grade, they're actually supposed to write and solve one-step word problems in second grade using pictographs and bar graphs with intervals of 1, where there was no intervals in first grade. And in third grade, they're going to summarize data sets with scaled intervals, with multiple categories. They're going to have frequency tables, dot plots, pictographs, and bar graphs. So that's what it looks like. So if you need to teach up for some of your higher scholars, then you can do that. And you'll have a basis point from where they should have started from. Make sure you break measurement all the way down, because it's something that's new to them. Pretty much you're going to be teaching the basis of all of this. One good thing about this unit is that none of the information that we have now from Unit 5 is going to be tested on a CA or anything like that. It is going to have to be tied back into MAP, and it is going to be reflected in the TWAs. So you have to make sure that they have a good understanding of it. Misconceptions, minute hand versus the hour hand, actually being able to go in and determine the different increments on the clock if it's not pointing directly at the hour that it means. If it's pointing like a little bit towards the 4, but it actually hasn't turned 4 because it's like 3:45 or 3:50, that might be a misconception that they have. As far as measurement, if it doesn't start right at 0 or at 1, then the scholars might be a little confused on how to compute that length. If it starts in the middle or at the end of the ruler, they also have to pay attention to what it's asking them to measure. I know that one of the questions I've seen is there's a picture of a mouse, and then he has a really long tail, and it says how long is the tail, not how long is the whole mouse. So just making sure that they can problem solve all the way down to that. Yeah, this is what I was talking about as far as the hour hand and the minute hand, when it's really 1:50, and they might think that it's 2:50. So we have to make sure to solidify that for them on that analog clock. Centimeters and inches is going to be new to them, so them being able to see that an inch is bigger than a centimeter, finding things that you would measure in inches and why you would use inches versus centimeters is going to be important for their problem solving skills. We did talk about that. Comparing and contrasting those different increments is going to be very crucial to them. Once again, that's a transdisciplinary skill that we have been doing in reading. So it should be fairly easy to tie it back into math. They should have some conceptual knowledge of it. Predictions and conclusion inferencing. So I know that if my shoe is this long, then I predict that 2 shoes will be this long. Or I predict that my dad's toothbrush is going to be longer than mine, or something like that. And writing word problems would probably be the most difficult concept of this unit. So you want to make sure that you have a detailed process that you want them to follow, and go from there. Please remember that we have kicked off our second grade problem of the day. They're expecting it to live in your morning meeting. So what I've done at Luna is I've taken each one of these problem of the days and I've put them on a half sheet of paper. And every day my kids come in, they do their bright work, they grab their problem of the day. And then I might have a general question like, what would you do if you had 3 eyes and 2 legs, or something crazy and fun like that? And so they will answer the question on the front, and then on the back they will answer like the funny joke or the question of the day. And then instead of me showing them the answer as I'm monitoring them solve the problem of the day, I then pick about 3 scholars and I show the scholars paper that actually got the answer right, and I make sure to choose ones that have different problem solving methods so that they can see people that use place value charts versus people that use hundreds, tens, ones charts versus people that use place value blocks and different things like that. If someone has a bunch of circles on their paper, I might even show that and show the compare and contrast how this way the circles is going to take a lot longer versus putting it in a HTO chart or using base 10 blocks for problem solving. So make sure that you're using that, and there is a scope posted on Blackboard. And if you need help finding that, then let me know. But there is a Unit 5, and it's day by day, so you really don't even have to work too hard at those problems. For Unit 5, there are investigation lessons that can help you ensure that these lessons are interactive. AML 7, 8, and 9 are all about time, graphs, and problem solving. Time, money, and graphs, I think, are what those model lessons are about. So you can usually pick those up and implement those on a Thursday or on a Friday after you have taught the actual concept. To give the scholars a deeper understanding, or you could even use them as like an introduction to the lesson, would be good too. As far as test alignment, Unit 5 tests that we have to worry about, the CA window is going to start right at the beginning of Unit 5. CA window opens the 26th. So I have this date just a little bit off, all the way through March 2nd, but the information in Unit 5 is not going to be tested, so you don't have to worry there. There is TWA 8, and it's March 21st through the 23rd, and then TWA 9 is April 11th through the 13th. TWA 8 is posted. TWA 9 is not posted yet, but it will be up soon for you. If we talk about our resources, then I want to make sure that you are utilizing this document that I did share with you at Collab Day. If you go in, it'll tell you that 2.9D, which is a TEK, is going to be tested on MAP all the way from 141 all the way to 221 in the RIT, and it'll tell you exactly what that RIT group needs in order to pass their MAP score. Also, it's going to tell you so you can see all the way 2.9D, 2.E. We talked about area. That's tested from 170 to 230. Time is going to be from 151 all the way up to 200, and each RIT needs something different. So you want to make sure that you're in there looking at that. Graphs is going to be tested, and you can see the various levels there. So make sure that you're utilizing this document. And I think there's one concept this unit that's not tested on MAP. I believe it's number lines. We have to teach number lines, but it's not a MAP tested concept. So keep that in mind. Also, TWA 8, once again, it is out, so you can go and you can look at that. Make sure that you're kind of don't teach to the test, but kind of know what it looks like, so you can make sure that you're giving your scholars all the information that they need to be successful, to make sure that your teaching is aligned with what the expectation is. So we went over that. I believe that we are, of course, the unit at a glance is posted. Always check out Blackboard. There's plenty of resources for us here. Once again, the TWA is there. If you wanted to know how to find that scope and sequence for the problem of the day, that's over here in the Math Vision is where you can find that. Also, second grade Blackboard. I wanted to make sure to show you guys our resources. But as you know, there's always going to be a plethora of those. But make sure you go and check out that Unit 5. You can find it under the resource bank here. And then if you click into Unit 5, you will find plenty of resources. And I try to have a hands-on manipulative for the kids. There's a printable ruler. There is, like I said, blank clock faces. There's several activities for you to do. There's graphs that you can do, time resources, all of that good stuff. So check that out. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me. Don't struggle in silence. Reach out to me and be on the lookout for the next collab day emails because it is almost that time. Thanks for watching, guys. You have a great Unit 5.